Danton, if she's got a connection to Tiberius, she could prove useful.
Maybe I should write all this down. It's a lot to keep track of.
Correct.
Great. It'll save the green lung the trouble. I can still die pretty.
You must be executed.
Huh. You know, I think that's the first time I've ever heard anyone say that.
I want to read up on science. Have you experienced the vision?
Denby, what the hell? Your mother is going to kill you!
Not surprisingly, it's empty. When I saw him, I was fighting for my life. It took me 3 weeks just to stand again. I didn't want to die.
Denby.
Hey, I may be a government employee, but I'm not a monster.
That card is my ticket into the Ministry of Medicine. I don't think he'd be interested in that. Just letting these flowers breathe. Don't get near the broken glass, okay? I don't think he'd want that.
Well, I wish you luck. I'm always on the lookout for you.
She can't speak. Think you can get it open?
You said you were able to get the servos?
You're the first.
Now's not the time for cooking.
I think one of the first things that came to mind when trying to think of what to talk about with the commentary, or my first thoughts on working on the game, I think the first thing that came to my mind was this is my second point-and-click adventure, and for Wadjet as well. But I think my first thought was the silliest one, which was this would be easy somehow, easier than Primordia was, because I'm much more experienced now than I was several years ago when I did Primordia. And I was pretty much entirely wrong. Working on adventure games is incredibly lovely and wonderful because you have so many personalities to factor in and so many characters and ideas and settings to bring to the table. And basically what made it hard for me the first time is exactly what made it hard this time, and the same thing that made it wonderful both times as well. So I underestimated how hard that would be, and I'm kind of grateful for that because I like a good challenge. This time I decided to make it even more challenging for myself by having real guitars. I'd actually hoped to get a real bass as well, but time constraints really factored in. We had a bass player lined up and everything, and it was kind of sad for me to not get that in the end, but I'm really happy with how the bass turned out overall, and the guitars really brought a new nuance to the soundtrack that I think just wouldn't have been there otherwise. And I mean, I heard the mock-ups before there were real guitars in it, and it just definitely brought new life and new character to it.
Last one to die, please turn out the light.
Yes, thankfully. Though nothing is keeping very long. Weeds have become a big problem.
Judging from the location, I would say that head belongs to the broken statue. I wish I could reach it from here, but I can't. The emergency alert has already been triggered. Clem was a good man.